In this video, I will show you how to build an AI phone system from scratch that will talk to customers and forward customer inquiries via email. This is the same system that we have sold for over $4,000 at our agency. Let's say someone wants to inquire about getting a quote for some services. We can ask them a couple of qualifying questions, save this information, and email it to a sales rep with the phone number to call back. This saves time on taking phone calls and time on qualifying leads.
Hi, welcome to Green Outdoors. What can we help you with?
Hi, I was looking to buy a tent that could fit around 6 people in it.
Hold on a sec. I've notified the sales team about your interest in purchasing a large tent. They'll be in touch with you shortly to assist you further.
By the end of this video, you'll be an expert in building these systems yourself. My name is Brendan and I run Inflate AI, an agency that helps businesses integrate the latest AI solutions. So jumping right into it, this right here is Vappy.ai. So this is the platform that I'm going to be using to build the AI voice caller. So for this video, I've gone ahead and created a brand new account. So I've got, as you can see, no assistance found. I'm starting completely from scratch. So go ahead and go to Vappy.ai. You can go ahead and just create a new account and you'll land on a page that looks exactly like this. The first thing that I'm going to do on Vappy is just click create assistant, and what we're going to get is a few templates to choose from. The purpose of this video, I'm just going to click on blank template because I'm going to be building it from scratch. But if you'd like, and if any of these stick out to you as being useful, you can just use one of these, and all it does is just give you a bunch of preset settings, and then you can just start to work with. But once again, I'm going to click blank template, give it a name. I'm just going to call this demo video and click create assistant. And so once you've created your assistant, you're going to land on a page that looks like this. So this is our assistant settings. We get a bunch of settings to customize our assistant, whether that's looking at how much it actually costs per minute to run, looking at the latency of the system, and all of the functions to change how it sounds, how quick it is, and what it actually says. So like I said at the start of the video, the system that I'm going to be building is an assistant that talks to the user about certain business services and essentially just captures whether or not they're looking to purchase that business's particular services. And if so, we're going to record that, we're going to understand it, and we're going to forward an email to a particular sales rep. So let's say I'm the sales rep of a company that sells camping tents. I want this system to talk to the user about our products, about the camping tents and whatnot. And if we find they are interested in purchasing our particular camping tent, we're going to go ahead and capture what they're specifically interested in. And we're going to go ahead and send that to myself in an email. Then I can just review that email. And if I want to call them back to make that sale, I can. I'll start off by creating a first message. So the first message is exactly what it says. It's just the first message that the voice caller repeats to the user. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste in this message right here that says, "Hi, welcome to Green Outdoors. What can we help you with?" So I've just made up a random name, Green Outdoors, for a fake outdoor camping company. Then what I'll do is just remove this message here. And what I've got is a bit of a template that I like to use to structure all of my system prompts around. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this and paste this in here. And if you want to get access to this, you can go ahead and sign up for my free school community in the link in the description, and you'll get access to this entire bot that I'm building here, as well as all the automations that I'm going to build later in the video. So all this template does is it just makes it so our communication to the AI is as efficient as possible. The first part of our prompt is the role. So the role is who they are. So who they are is the assistant. Who is the assistant and what is their purpose? So in this case, you are a receptionist who helps customers with product knowledge and notifies the sales team if the customer is interested in purchasing. And the task is specifically what the assistant actually does. So in my case, I wanted to send an email to me with a bunch of info about the potential customer so that I can then call them and then obviously get a sale done over the phone. And then I can decide as a sales rep if that lead is worth pursuing to call them up again and actually make a sale from. So I'll say your task is to talk to the customer, find out if they are interested, and if so, send an email to the sales rep. So the next part is the specifics. So this is how they actually do it. So in this case, this is going to be the function call that actually sends out the email. What I'll say is if the customer seems interested in purchasing, please run the email function. So please run the email function if the customer seems interested in purchasing. So now the bot knows that it needs to email the sales rep if they're interested in purchasing. And then the next step, it knows exactly how to actually do that. The next part is context, and context is just talking about the business and talking about who they are a bit more. So a bit of an add-on to the role. And the purpose of this is just to really confirm with it what its goal is, what the point of its sort of existence is. It needs to know that it works for a company, and the point is that it's going to make sales. And the reason we're doing that is because we obviously don't want it to go off on a tangent and talk about anything other than what our main objective is. So what I'll say is Green Outdoors is an outdoor camping retailer. And then what we do, we help people find the right products camping needs. And then in the next step, we're going to put in an example of a sort of conversation that has occurred that is exactly what we would expect this assistant to be able to handle. So what I can do is just put in the example. I can type customer. And so this is in the perspective of the customer that's calling the assistant. So if the customer says, "Hi, how are you doing?" And then for the AI assistant, we're going to type "you," because in this prompt, we're talking directly to the assistant. So we'll say, "You are going to respond to this by saying, 'Hello, how can I help you today?'" And then we continue on by typing customer, and they might say, "Hi, I'm looking to purchase a large tent." And then we might say, "Great, we have many large tents available." And then at this stage of the conversation, we actually want to run that function call. So just below this, we're going to type in hashtag function call, because now we actually want to run that function call. And all I'm going to say is run the email function capturing the user's request, or I might say customer's request. And then lastly, we have the notes, and the notes are more for testing. So once we've actually ran the assistant, we've called it a few times and noticed there are some issues here or there. We wanted to say something different. We can just type it in the notes and have it fixed by putting it in the notes. One thing that I do think it'll probably need right out the gate is going to be something that tells it not to follow the script too precisely. So I might say, "Don't follow the script exactly. Please act natural and respond like a human." So now it's not going to follow that script exactly and speak word for word and be a bit too robotic. It's going to be a bit more natural. It's going to try and answer the responses to the questions as anyone normally would. So now our first iteration of the prompt is completed. Obviously, this is going to require much more testing. You're going to need to run the assistant, understand where the sort of flaws are, and then update the prompt continuously after pretty extensive testing to make sure that this system can actually perform. So if we just scroll to the top of the page, we can now start calling this assistant. We don't have to do anything else to start to talk to it. Let's see what happens.
Hi, welcome to Green Outdoors. What can we help you with?
Hey, how are you going?
I'm doing well, thank you. How can I assist you today?
Yeah, I was just looking to buy a really large tent. Have you got any?
Yes, we have a great selection of large tents available. What kind of features are you looking for in a large tent?
Yeah, I'm just looking for something that can fit about 3 people in it.
Great, we have several options that would suit your needs. I'll go ahead and email our sales team to assist you further with your purchase.
There you go. As you can see, it's gone ahead and followed our sales script. It's even added in a little bit more there, and obviously our note that said to please act naturally to the question probably kicked in there. And then we've obviously been able to run the email function. Now, once again, obviously if we didn't want it to say that we've emailed the sales team, maybe that's actually a pretty good idea. Maybe you can add that in to just say, yeah, we've emailed the sales team, we'll get back to you. And then obviously the caller knows exactly what's going on, and then they're waiting that response for the email. So just from that, we've got this assistant right up and running, and now I'm going to build that function. Just before I build that function, I've just clicked into the voice settings here. So the default voice settings on Vappy is to use 11 Labs and this Sarah voice here. Obviously you can change this, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to keep it as this because it sounds pretty decent. 11 Labs is one of the best voice sounding providers out there. So I don't think you'll have any trouble having it sound realistic. So to get started on building out our functions, I've just clicked on the functions tab here and we'll land on a page that looks like this. So what you need to do is go down to this custom functions tab right here, and I'm just going to click create new function. I'm going to go ahead and change the function name to email. And this function name needs to be the exact same name that we've used in the prompt, because this is what it's going to actually be seeing. The AI has access to these function names and it can see this name and trigger it based on that. And below this, we've got a function description, just describing the function. So this is when the customer has interest in purchasing our products, we want to email the salesperson. So function description, when the customer is interested in purchasing our products, we want to email the salesperson. And then what we need to do is add in a property, and the property is essentially a store of data that we're going to be sending out in our function. So in this particular case, the only bit of information that we want to capture from the user is that sort of sentence or two of them being interested in our products. So we want to know what product they were actually interested in. And so in this case, we can just create a property called product and then describe the property. This is the product the caller was interested in. And then we can just keep this as a string, because a string is just another word for text, and we just want to save the text. Going over to the right and just clicking save. And then what we need is a server URL. So it says here server URL, endpoint URL to handle function calls. So now we're going to be jumping into make.com. So this right here is make.com. Make.com is a no-code automations platform. It's very easy to use. I'm going to show you how to connect this in just a few steps. Once you've gone ahead and created an account, you're going to land on a page that looks like this. And all you're going to need to do is click create new scenario. Once you've done that, you're going to land on this page here, which is our sort of canvas that we're going to be building our automations and doing our function email from. So just go ahead and click on the first block that pops up in the app section, which is called a webhook, and click on custom webhook. Once you've done that, go and click on the add button here. And we're going to be creating a brand new webhook for this assistant. Just give it a random name of your choice. I'm going to call this email person. And once you've done this, just click the save button. And then what you'll get is a URL that we need to click copy address to clipboard, go back to Vappy and paste this endpoint URL right here. And then we can just click on the add button down here. Going back into make.com, just click the OK button. And now we're going to click on add another module because we want to then take this webhook response from Vappy with all of that data and then send it to another application. So whether you want to actually send this off in an email or send it to Notion or Airtable or Google Drive, you can do whatever you want. This is all possible through the thousands of apps that are on make.com. But for this video, I'm just going to click on Gmail and all we're going to be doing is sending an email. I've gone ahead and signed into my Google account. And then what you'll get is just a series of options, exactly the same as if you were sending an email. In this case, I'm going to give it a subject that says new sales inquiry. And then I've just typed in my email address where I want the information to be sent. And then in content, this is where we're going to get all of the caller information. And to get access to this, obviously it's not on the side here. We can't put in any of that caller information from Vappy yet because we need to run this first. And then Make will see all of that data and then we can populate that into our content form. So just go ahead and click OK. And then what I'll do is I'll click run once and this is just going to start to load. I'll go back to Vappy, click into my email function, and then we'll scroll down a bit and see this button that says set up Make. So it's actually got a pre-built sort of Make integration here where we can actually send a sample payload. And all I'm going to do is just type in a fake product name. So this could just be red camping tent. I'm just going to hit test endpoint, testing, test succeeded, go back to here and boom, there we can see our request has been sent through. And now what I can do is click into my Gmail here. And if I go down and click content, you'll see all of this data has populated from Vappy. Now that we've sent it to our Gmail, we can go ahead and just click into all of these sort of parameters here and use any of this data that we want. So as you can see here in the function call parameters, we've got a tab here that says product and red camping tent, which is obviously the exact product that customer was talking about. So all I can do is just type product and now they'll see red camping tent. Now, the other thing that I wanted to have sent in the email was the customer's phone number. Now, because we just did this over the website, we don't have a phone number that we can get from this function call. I actually have to call the number to get the phone number to come through, but I'll just type phone number. And now let's actually call it and get that phone number tag in. So coming back to Vappy, we now need to connect this to a phone number and we can do that using Twilio. So to do this, go to Twilio and just create a brand new account. You'll get some trial credits that you can use. So you don't have to put in any money into the account. And what you're gonna get is something called an account SID and an authentication token. This generates itself automatically, so you don't have to do anything to get these values. Just create the account, go to the main landing page that I'm on right now. And what you'll see in the account info is 2 bits of data that we're going to use to connect it to Vappy. Going back to Vappy, we can now add in these credentials. So just beneath assistants is something called phone numbers, and we can just click import. And all we need to do is put in all of the details that was given to us by Twilio. We also have to quickly buy a phone number on Twilio so we can actually host the calls on that phone number. And once you've done that, just below our account info, the Twilio phone number will pop up. Go back to Vappy and then just input that number and import that phone number using the Twilio option, and it will automatically add itself. And once you've done this, you can assign any assistant to either inbound or outbound. So in this case, we can set the inbound to a particular assistant. So when you call this phone number from Twilio, it'll just be that assistant that starts talking to you. Or in the outbound section, you can just type in a phone number and it will send that assistant to that particular phone number you've entered and just start to talk with them through that. So once you've done that, go ahead and call the assistant either as the inbound phone number, or you can send an outbound phone number to your phone. So once you've done that, go ahead and call the assistant, either sending the phone number through the outbound method or just calling the inbound phone number. Tell it about the camping tents or whatever setup you had going, and just get the email to be sent out. And just before making this phone call, make sure to turn this make scenario actually on. So when we make the phone call, it is always picking up on making and sending these emails. And once you've done that, this webhook response will now get the phone number. So I haven't called it, but what you'll see is this phone number will populate with the phone number of your phone number, whoever has called the assistant. And then all you need to do is click into the Gmail here, go to phone number, click on the call specifics, and then just click on phone number. And then automatically it will email the phone number as well as the product the interested person was interested in buying. And then now I, the sales rep, have an email with the particular phone number and the particular product that person was interested in purchasing. So I'll just go ahead and test this out for you. I'll just click on talk with demo voice.
Hi, welcome to Green Outdoors. What can we help you with?
Hey, I was wondering if I could buy a tent.
Great. We have a wide range of tents available. What kind of tent are you looking for, and do you have any specific requirements in mind?
No, I'm just looking for a tent that can house 2 people, that's all.
This'll just take a sec. Awesome, we have some great options for 2-person tents. Let me show you some of our best sellers.
So there we go. If I have a look at my email here, I've now received an email that says 2-person tent as the product. So exactly what I was saying, they've asked for a 2-person tent. We've been emailed it. There's no phone number here because I called it on the web. But if you call it via Twilio, the phone number will populate. And then there you go. We've now built a system that we can talk to customers and send sales reps emails based on that. So there you have it. If you want a more in-depth tutorial of Make.com and Vappy, go ahead and click the video on the screen right now. And this video is a 2-hour tutorial where I break down everything there is to know about building AI voice callers.